This hour, Ghana's Electoral Commission is under pressure to improve its management of elections following the challenging district-level elections.
Also developing this afternoon, key players in Ghana's power supply chain warn of possible power cuts as they accuse the Electricity Company of Ghana of failing to pay them for services rendered.
Also to come, tax records of Supreme Court nominee flagged for irregularities. We are live at the Virgin for the latest on the radar or turn of events.
And on our special feature series, we focus on government's failure to properly set up the district and regional security councils as required by law.
This is News Central. I'm Keminni Amanor.
And I am Mawuena Egbeta. News Central starts right now. This hour was starting from Parliament, where the tax clearance records for Supreme Court Justice nominee Henry Anthony has been flagged for irregularities at his ongoing vetting before the Appointments Committee of Parliament. According to a query raised by the Minority Leader, Dr. Kesala Toforsen, the document presented to the committee does not reflect that the nominee has been in active service for a number of years. We'll take you to Parliament shortly, but let's walk you through some details with regards exactly what it is, the balance and power of the Supreme Court at this particular point, the profile of the nominees as we have it. And so the current number of judges at the Supreme Court stands at 12, including the Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu, and then the former Chief Justice Kwesi Enin Yeboah, Nene Abayate Ofoya Megache, Justice Jones, Victor Maolom Doche, judges to be recently retired judges, I should mention, and so replacements are coming through for them, and that's what is happening in Parliament this afternoon. And so judges to be vetted include Henry Anthony Kofi for the Court of Appeal, and then the president of the Association of Magistrates and Judges as well. He was recently a part of a 3-member Court of Appeal panel which turned down a request to put the trial of Asin North MP James Jachi Kwesin on hold, and is currently handling the trial of the former Director General of SNIT, Ernest Thompson, as an additional High Court judge. Then there is Richard Ejay Frimpong, is also a justice of the Appeals Court, has expertise in international maritime law, and then Yao Dako Asare, also a justice of the appeal, expert in international maritime law. Let's take you to Parliament right now, where Duke Mensoro Poku is my colleague. He's been following the proceedings for us, where the tax clearance certificate of one of the nominees became an issue of contention. Duke, many thanks as always. Talk to us. How was this resolved eventually?
Well, so the committee, the chairman of the committee, First Deputy Speaker Joseph Osewufu, has directed that the anomaly has directed that the committee should write to the GRA to come clear that if indeed this is the true reflection of the records, the tax records of the judge in question, Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, or there was an aberration or there is a mistake that needs to be clarified. All that needs to be done, and the GRA must respond back to the committee for all that issue to be clear, because it looks like that is an issue that was raised during the vetting, which sort of was a blot. I mean, if it is indeed found out to be true that for the past 3 or so years, the justice to be elevated to the Supreme Court has not been paying taxes while working, that would be one. That would be a serious issue. That would be like one of the first time, or that would be one of the very first that we have a justice who's being elevated to a Supreme Court having such tax clearance issues. But it looks like it may be an aberration, it may be an anomaly that we have to rectify by the GRA. So the chairman of the committee has directed that the GRA should be written to do that. That was not the only document that was missing. Again, documents from the National Security or the National Investigations Bureau or the NIB or the BNI, as it used to be called, all those documents also have not reached the committee yet. Right. Before you can occupy a public office, the security agencies have to do a background check on you. All those things are not before the committee. In fact, the justice indicated that he has no criminal record, but some members of the minority, notably the minority chief, indicated that it was not in his purview to tell the committee whether he had a criminal record or not, but they needed to get those certifications and those reports from the national security agencies. Right. So subsequent to that, the chairman has also indicated that they will request that these reports should be brought before them expeditiously to allow them to make a determination on Justice Henry Anthony Kofi, whose vetting has just been completed, and the House has taken a suspension for about an hour, after which they will resume to take the 2 more nominees now.
Are there timelines, first off, to when these respective agencies will bring these documents to the committee? Well,
the committee is requesting for it in the next few days to be able to conclude this work before it goes on recess. Mind the whole parliamentary establishment is racing against time to finish its work in time to be able to rise for the Christmas festivities by Friday.
How many of these nominees have gone through the committee already, and is it looking like the approvals will be via consensus?
It's just, we just had Justice Henry Kofi. Yeah, I mean, his vetting began very early in the morning, about before 9 a.m. actually, and he was there for some 3 hours, just before midday, around 11, that he was discharged from the committee. And so the committee is doing everything to work expeditiously because, mind you, they are working to get these men approved so that they can fill in the slots at the Supreme Court, because the judges who are supposed to retire, Justice Keminni Amanor, Amegache, Ashikote, all of them are already, all of them have gone on retirement already. So their seats are begging to go to the Supreme Court. So they want to do their work expeditiously so that they can be cleared to go and fill up these, to continue doing the work that they need to demand at the FX Court. Again, as to whether there has to be issues of contention, well, so far with Justice Henry Kofi, right. Usually career judges who are elevated to the Supreme Court, because they've had all their life really in the service of the judiciary, you don't have those issues of political fault lines that divide the minority and majority. Clearly, I mean, we didn't see that. He wouldn't even allow himself to be drawn in some of this. For instance, the question about the Supreme Court being unanimous FC, he was asked, he said he wouldn't be drawn into all those things. He was asked about whether there are political judges. He said there are no political judges, because if you go into such realms, those are very slippery realms, and you will be politicizing the judiciary, which is a body that must keep its sanctity, right. Must keep its head on properly to be able to do this work. So as of now, no major issue in relation to what will divide the minority and majority over the approval, but there are 2 more justices, and we are keeping close tabs on what the appointments committee is doing today.
As always, Duke, many thanks. Duke Mensa Opoku joining us from Parliament.
We'll stay there for a tad because the Majority Leader, Aseche Mensah Bonsu, is questioning the election management of the EC ahead of the 2024 elections. It follows challenges which characterized voting during the district-level elections yesterday, with more than 30 districts in different parts of the country unable to vote, while voting started late at a number of these centers as well. Challenges the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODE, Dr. Paul Abrampa Mensah, argues needs immediate addressing to give confidence to electors ahead of the 2024 polls.
People using the district level election as a test field. It's also an important election that gives us the local legislative assembly, who are actually the people who supervise our development in the local area. So it's also an important thing. But of course, it's an issue that come about after every election. There's an assessment. What worked well, what did not work well? Who are the service providers who gave us the challenges? Are we going to maintain them? The service providers themselves are also going to assess their machines. Okay. So it's not just using the district level election as a test case. is assessing the electoral process to come out with prognosis as to what worked well, what did not work well, what plans are we going to adopt in the next election, whether it's an intra-party election that will come, whether it's a by-election that will come. It's important that we do assessment so as to improve upon the process going forward.
For the majority leader, the EC's current election proposals could be a recipe for disaster-calm elections 2024.
Well, if we are sure that we start early and then create many more polling stations such that by 2 o'clock, 90-95% have voted, why not? But we should not create the situation where instead of cleaning up the system, we rather end up creating chaos. I went to my station today, I told you. I flew from Accra to Kumasi, got to where I was supposed to be voting. And unfortunately, I think it was about 9 o'clock or so that they started, which was not good enough, right? If you want to end at 3, and instead of starting at 7, you are beginning at 8, you create chaos. Another thing that I think the Electoral Commission may have to have a second look at is their discontinuance of the usage of indelible ink.
I was coming to that, yes.
I think they should go back and reconsider it.
Why?
Today, my small constituency, I think 2 electoral areas, the materials for voting did not arrive. So it's likely they may do it tomorrow or the day after. If it happens that way, and I don't know how centralized their database is, the database is not centralized, and a person has voted at Swami, and maybe he has, by whatever means, succeeded in registering another place, and the name has not popped up, right? Or maybe a person with whom he shares common features but he knows that perhaps maybe the person has traveled or transitioned or whatever. He wants to go and use the name of that person to go and vote elsewhere. If you have strong indelible ink, it will give the person out.
So you are painting the picture of a situation where the machines or electronic systems don't work?
I've not said so. I've said that I don't know how centrally aligned the database is.
Moving away from this, taking you to the courts right now, where the trial of CEO of defunct gold dealership firm Men's Gold is set to commence today at the Financial and Economic Court 1 of the Accra High Court. Nana Mensah, also known as NAM1, has pleaded not guilty to various charges leveled against him. We'll head to the court shortly, but first, a bit of a background to this particular case, one that a lot of you at home watching would be aware of. And the persons accused, Nana Mensah alias NAM1, Men's Gold Ghana Limited, Brew Marketing Consult Ghana Limited, those are the entities currently facing the trial. For NAM1, he's pleaded not guilty to these charges and entered a not guilty plea on behalf of his companies as well. And let's look at some of the charges. 39 charges, or counting all, which include selling gold without a license, operating a deposit-taking business without a license, inducement to invest, defrauding by false pretense, fraudulent breach of trust, and money laundering. Those are the charges, 39 in all, but just a handful of them selected for you this afternoon. Let's take you to the court right now, and we'll connect with Lord Edu Asare for first day of hearing. Last week thereabout, they were in court for case management conference, where amongst many other things, conversations were had between prosecution and defense as to how quickly the trial will go, witnesses that will be called, and the likes. And the customers of Men's Gold expressed satisfaction with the outcome of that case management conference. But let's take you live to the courts. Lord Edu Asare has joined us via the phones. Lord, talk to us. Day 1 of the trial, exactly what's happening. Lord, I'm asking if you can brief us on what's been happening on the first day of the trial.
All right, so Mawuena, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Lord.
Great. So today's the first day of Namwan's trial. The prosecution is expecting to call 11 witnesses, but they will start with a witness known as Patriotic Party, of beg your pardon. And so that is what is going to be happening. As I speak to you now, I literally have to dash down because the room is packed with several of the customers of Men's Gold. And so the Keminni is going to present it with witness testimony. As we know, Namwan is standing trial for 39 counts of offenses, including money laundering, operating a gold licensing firm without a license. So that's what we're expecting from today's session at the Upper High Court, Financial and Economic Court 1.
And after today, do we have an understanding as to when next the case will be called again, considering the quick pace with which the judge is looking to have all of this done?
Coming in, man, I wasn't clear.
I'm asking, do we know the adjournment dates to start off with, whether or not if processes in court today have ended?
Right, so after today, the next hearing is going to be in January. So the prosecution were pushing for a daily trial, and the judge has accepted that this is going to be the case. And so right from today, if the cross-examination or the witness testimony is not done with the first witness, January is going to continue, but then from then onwards, it's going to be a daily trial of Namwan.
We know that you've mentioned already that a number of the customers were present in court. Have they been reacting to day one of the trial as well?
Coming in, Mawuena.
I'm asking if the customers have been reacting to the first day of the trial and even the conversations about a daily trial. Right, we'll have to connect a lot later with my colleague Lord Iduasan, who's struggling to hear us a bit. But that's the latest in relation to happenings with Nana Appiah Mensah. We're going for a break. When we return, a lot more here on News Central.
Luck is everywhere, for everyone, yeah. Luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
How to play and win mobile interface. Step 1. Simply dial star 712 hash. Step 2. Select 1 to buy the ticket for self. Or select 2 to buy the ticket for others. Step 3. Buy a random ticket or a preferred ticket.
Let's go.
Step 4. Enter purchase amount and confirm. Step 5. Authorize payment and approve transaction. Step 6. Congratulations. You receive a text confirmation of your payment. I am Mr. Good Luck, and I'm on a mission to spread luck all around.
Doctor, nurse, papa, driver, bouncer, friends, teacher, banker.
Star 712 hash.
You could be the luckiest.
Let me see.
She's never had a toothache before.
There might be a cavity. Don't you use Pepsodent?
We used to, but I'll try the new one.
Ah, that's why.
But doesn't every toothpaste give cavity protection?
Not really. Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter repairs tiny invisible holes to give 10 times stronger teeth. Will you trust Pepsodent?
Definitely. Pepsodent, 10 times stronger teeth.
Use Pepsodent's Cavity Fighter.
Your favorite Abner Rice is saying thank you to all its loyal customers and consumers for being loyal to the brand. From the 1st of September 2022. 3 to 31st of January 2024. Buy any 4.5 kg bag of Abner rice and you stand the chance of finding a gift voucher inside the bag. Prizes you stand to find include LED TVs, washing machines, microwaves, blenders, smartphones, bags of rice, burners, and many more. Redeem your gift vouchers from any Lele depot or selected wholesalers nationwide. So, what are you waiting for? Go on and grab your 4.5 kg bag of Abner rice and win big. Remember, the Abner Achedia promo is on from the 1st of September 2023 and ends on 31st of January 2024. It's the Abner Achedia promo. Buy more, win more. Terms and conditions apply. This advert is FDA approved.
Na me sa ka me brave you higher na twetwe ko mobile from say e me papa slide washing machine. Obeto washing machine. Wow.
Beto hard drive.
Obeto hard drive. In a radio don Franco so see yancha wade into when hard drive any achade na ye dey ma wo. Oh. And no ma we nyina Franco see ya fancho. Hwe camera ni meka bi che Franco mame.
Oh, Franco, my idea too much. Now, me better machine, so it means I tea so grand.
The canker of teenage pregnancy remains a threat to girls' education and empowerment. In fishing communities, poverty exposes vulnerable girls to predators who use fish as bait to attract teenage girls. TV3 throws a searchlight on cases of sexual exploitation as some fish folks lure girls with fish in exchange for sex. Join us on Wednesday, December 20, as we raise awareness about how some teenagers are bearing the brunt of sexual exploitation.
Who are those getting the girls pregnant? These are elderly men living in our communities.
This documentary is funded by the US aid from the American people. Book a date on Wednesday, December 20 at 9 p.m.
Welcome back. The new Patriotic Party will today open nominations for aspiring parliamentary candidates in constituencies where the party has certain members of parliament. While the nominations are expected to close on December 25th, 2023, the party has fixed January 27th, 2024 to conduct the final leg of its internal elections to elect its parliamentary candidates. Neville Crosby Annan joins us with some perspective on this. Good afternoon, Crosby. What more should we expect from this?
Right. Already, some aspirants such as Michael Quay Jr., Hayford Siao, Alois Moll, and Bai Soseko for Elias, they are ready to contest to represent the party in the Dom Pamia constituency, the Sawama Dwadri constituency, and the Asante Region South constituency, respectively. Some other contests to keep an eye on, that of the Commissioner of Police, retired Alex Mensah, who wants the Bekwai seat and Raphael Japon for Bantama. Another area of interest would be the Formula constituency, where the incumbent, Andrew Esiema Mwako, he won the seat as an independent candidate after quitting the party going into the 2020 elections. However, he has been the bargaining chip of the ruling MPP and is also the second Deputy Speaker of Parliament. It is unclear how many sitting MPs will be seeking re-election. From history, we know that some incumbent MPs, they indicate they would not be seeking re-election. But
Crosby, so how does the party intend to deal with conflicts that may arise?
Well, ahead of
Opening of the nomination forms, a December 11, 2023 statement signed and issued by the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong-Kodia, said no aspirant should be denied access to the nomination forms, even making provisions for the forms to be...
Crosby, I'm afraid we've had to end that conversation due to the audio challenges, but that
Well, staying with the NPP, but this time across the region, starting from the Ashanti region, where we know that aspirants have begun picking their nomination forms at the various constituencies in the Ashanti region as the ruling party opens nomination ahead of the January 27 primaries. You heard Crosby mention Bekwai constituency. That's one of the focal areas where retired Police Commissioner Alex Mensah is facing stiff opposition from the son of the former MP Ralph Pokueduse. Let's connect with William Evans Inkum right now and get an understanding as to exactly what the situation is there right now. Evans, as always, talk to us how it's looking like, how it's shaping like in the region. I see you already at the regional office. Have individuals come through to come pick nominations?
Absolutely. So this is the constituency office of the Bekwai constituency, one that has been predicted to be one of the hottest spots going into January 27 when the FPP will make extraordinary conference, that I call it Parliament primaries. Not too long ago, the son of the former member of Parliament, Ralph Pokueduse, picked his nomination. Of course, he did not do it by himself, but a number of people walked in here and did that on his behalf. What they are saying is that they have absolute confidence in changing the narrative as far as the Bekwai constituency is concerned. I would have called it a reincarnation of old souls, because in 2008, it was between the first deputy of Parliament, against, in 2008, of those who went to the team. This time around, the only difference is that those who will no more contesting. Once contesting, then it will have been a reincarnation of old food. But this time around, the 50% plan is contesting to, regain seat. So, that is what we know. Now, in terms of POP, he get to make his nomination for me, and understand that he will be doing that. And of course, there's this other candidate whose name has given us one second form. Now, beyond the five, we also have another COP, former COP, or retired COP, picking for today. And let me take you to Ahafo Southwest constituency, precisely where he told me George Ford, he retired in 2001 and was in charge of, he was the director general of finance, as we heard talking about the future content. We will also be contesting, actually. If you go to Adanse Asopa constituency, the constituency of Mawuena or Mawuena Hammond, Tracy Hammond, because the deputy mascot CEO, Mawuena Asamoah in Cancer, will also be contesting him. Of course, when it comes to mascot CEOs contest and winning seat, it is not new. So when you go to the Chiazu constituency in 2020, 7 Amoah Speaker contested. Now the current MP for Asukori Mampong municipality, that is Kennedy Kankam. He was then the MP, but he won. So these are some of the things that we expected to see. But let me end at Ahafo Southwest, because former is currently the executive, one of the executive directors of the GFA or the executive of GFA, Freddie Achi, will also be contesting that particular thing.
Right then, William Evans Inkum is my colleague. They're providing a bit more from the Ashanti region. It is the stronghold of the governing New Patriotic Party, is why we went there straight away to get an understanding as to exactly what the situation is like, as they've opened nominations for sitting MPs or constituencies where they have sitting MPs, individuals interested to pick up their nomination forms. And let's just run you through again what is required for you as an individual who is interested in wanting to become an MP on the ticket of the NDC. You're supposed to pick up nomination forms for 3,000 cedis and then a non-refundable filing fee of 35,000 cedis. That's how much you'll be expected to pay. If you're a sitting member of parliament, you're exempted from the next fees, which we'll be showing to you right now. 40,000 non-refundable development fee. That will be paid by individuals who are entering the race other than the sitting MPs. And so the argument is that the sitting MPs have developed the constituencies, but those coming through right now have not, and so they'll be required to pay 40,000, and then all of that would total some 78,000 cedis in terms of cost alone before campaigning and the likes come through.
Let's stay in the Ashanti region. At least 50% of water produced by the Ghana Water Company for the Abwabwa district of the Ashanti region cannot be accounted for due to illegal connection. To reduce incidents of non-revenue water, the Ashanti North branch of the water company has begun a clampdown on household as it intensifies education. Let's have a quick chat on this. Ibrahim Abubakar is our correspondent. He's at Abwabo now, where most of these culprits, if you like. Ibrahim, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us here. Tell us a bit more about the situation concerning illegal water connections. Well, Ibrahim, we cannot hear you. If you're muted, you would want to mute. Ibrahim Abubakar is joining us from Abwabo, where the water company is losing a lot of money because of illegal connections there. We'll come back to that conversation with Ibrahim. Right now, let's take a listen to authorities of the water company in that area.
Payment of water bill in the region have not been very encouraging. Even though a lot of them try to pay their bills on time, few people are also hesitant to pay their bills. And we take this opportunity to inform the public that we don't receive any money from the government so far as our operations are concerned. It is the little bills that each and every customer pays. That is what we put together to run our operations. And so we are here to let them know and also to encourage them to pay their bills promptly, because it is only when they pay their bills promptly that we'll be able to have enough money to be able to continue to provide them with the potable water.
If you take our non-revenue water, for instance, it is high in terms of percentage. Almost half of the production of water that we produce, we can't account for. All these are as a result of illegal connections and all that, though there are other factors. But the illegal connection is the most serious one. Very, very serious. People are using water, bypassing the meter, they connect behind the meter so that it doesn't pass through the meter. We have also waged a war against illegal connection.
Let's try Ibrahim Abubakar again. I told you earlier he's following the story about illegal connections in Abwabo. Ibrahim, we've just heard authorities of the water company on this issue. How widespread is the situation in Abwabo?
Well, Keminni, very disturbing. Like you heard the authorities say, the breakdown is that for every 10 households that you pick within the Abwabo enclave, 5 of them are not paying water bills, but they have water. And most of them have done what they call meter bypass, which means the illegal connection. And out of the 5 who are even connected illegally, 2 or 3 of them are also not paying their bills on time. So this is a situation that is already compounding the loss of revenue by the water company. And now they have even commenced an initiative of extending water to the various areas. And all that they are saying is that people should stop it. We know they have been educating the public on it. This time around, they want to move beyond the education and start with enforcement. Already, they've started from other areas coming towards Abuabo, where a number of illegal connectors have been arrested and put before the law court. So that is what they have started, all as part of initiatives to mobilize more revenue for the water company.
I see. How do they say that is going so far?
Well, so far so good, but they still expect people within the public to give them more information, because for some areas it is difficult for you to detect. People are doing this illegal connection inside their home. So they are trying to expand the education, also create some incentive for people who will be reporting such activities. In fact, for most of the residents I spoke to at Abuabo, they have admitted that, well, indeed, meter or illegal water connection is widespread within the areas, and they are also expecting authorities to act now.
Well, Ibrahim, thank you so much for the report. Ibrahim Abubakar joined us from Abuabo.
It was to be a month-long protest that will see citizens mass up on the street instead of celebrating Christmas to press home the demand for a better deal from government. Well, this will not happen because an Accra High Court has for the second time injuncted the Fix the Country group and its conveners from staging this protest. One of the conveners, Benjamin D, he's joined us for a quick chat on this. Mr. D, thank you. Are you surprised by the outcome of today's hearing?
During demonstrations, the judge did not probe further to maybe have any data from the police on how they are rationing their personnel and how they are distributing them across the states. Just that reason given was enough to convince the judge that she needs to enjoin the rights of citizens to protest, especially based on the fact that this is not, it's basically a religious ritual that is not even backed by the constitution. Yeah, people have the right to practice their religion, but the right to demonstrate is something that is inalienable. So you can't say that because people are demonstrating and there's Christmas, it's going to create maybe an issue. So let's injunct someone's rights to protest. And given the reasoning from the judge that Christmas is a period for bonding, we can't bond when there's no money. People are basically broke. The economy is down. We're struggling. And if you give the reason for saying that we don't have the room to vent or to register our displeasure with the system because people use the bond, I don't really find the legal basis or enough legal reasoning behind the judgment that the judge gave. Yeah.
I can understand the disappointment, but for you and the group, what's the next line of action?
We have a couple of options on the table. One is to maybe appeal the decision. We're still looking at that, maybe challenge it in the Superior Court. We're going to maybe highlight the lack of legal grounds that were raised by the judge, and then we'll challenge the rationale behind the judge's decision. Second one is to mobilize enough public support to shed light on how bad the judicial system is now, and the fact that the last arm of government that normally we feel like if we need any sort of like comfort or to find defense, we run to basically now standing to a place where judgments are being given without any sound reasoning behind them. I think my words are a bit strong, but that is how I feel based on what I heard from the judge, even going as far as saying that she would actually advise that we hold protests from March 2024. Like, I don't think it falls within the grounds or the powers of the judge to determine when people should exercise their constitutional rights. So we're going to do this too.
Mr. Dako, many thanks for speaking to us. As Benjamin Dako, one of the conveners of Fix the Country movement, who've expressed disappointment in not being able to hold the December-long protest. When we return from this break, let's talk about a potential doomsday-like Christmas. Stay with us.
The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah. The luckiest.
Star 712 hash.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Luck is everywhere. For everyone, yeah.
Doctors,
nurses,
barbers,
drivers,
bouncers,
friends,
teachers,
bankers.
You could be the luckiest. You could be the
Keep buying your luckiest ticket with star 712 hash. As an individual, a group, an association, or even a community. And stand a chance of winning in the community draw or the ultimate draw on 23rd of December. Win millions on star 712 hash.
Not for persons under 18 years. This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
How do I look?
You look so gorgeous, Auntie.
Thank you. I hope my date feels the same. Am I not forgetting something?
Yes, obviously. Laura Mini.
Thank you. Can I use the washroom, please?
Sure. Flora disposable handkerchief.
You obviously aren't using Flora tissues, my dear, because the Flora tissues, they are soft and easy on the skin and they leave no particles.
I hope you had a good time.
I had fun, thank you for dinner. Are you okay? Do you want to use the washroom? Yeah. Okay, fine.
Hey, broke uncle. I will tell Auntie.
Fat Chemi. I just love how it feels.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Sport Furniture, where we turn your dreams into reality with our exquisite furniture. My name is Ohimwe Champuma. Let's get started. These section of sofas are one of our best sellers. They are perfect for family gatherings and a cozy movie night. Here in our dining room section, you will find everything you need to host those unforgettable dinner parties. Hello. For those of you who love to work from home or just love a beautifully organized home office space, we have impressive home office furniture just for you. Now, let's explore our bedroom furniture. Take a look at these sets, best of its kind, and it's available in various sizes and finishes to match your decor. From now till the end of the year, we are offering amazing discounts on our furniture items. From us, the Sport Furniture family, to yours, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year.
Dirty Rave in Ghana. Get ready for the ultimate Afro enjoyment rave, Dirty Rave. Accra, we outside. Brace yourselves because this year Dirty Rave is shooting for the moon. Save the dates, December 27th. Get ready for an intergalactic rave experience. Performing live DJ mixes are Chop Live Sound System with DJ Edu and Don Easy, DJ Aruma, DJ Obi, AD DJ, Kelvin DJ, and Kojo Manuel. It's a star-studded party you don't want to miss. December 27th, Untamed Empire. Secure your spot at this cosmic celebration. Visit www.dirtyrave.com or use *725 *5555 hash. So mark your calendar, get your tickets, and prepare for liftoff. This out-of-the-world experience is sponsored by Bet Power, EcoBank, Club Here, Voltic, Yango, DDP, Turf, Holiday Inn, Waka Now, Untamed Empire, Beyond the Return, McDan, Atlas, Eliza Travels, Black A Restrooms, and Kozo.
The Ghana National Association of Teachers, NAT, has scaled up its commitment to ensuring improved access to treatment for teachers battling cancer. Together with the Sweden Ghana Medical Center, SGMC, NAT provides teachers and members on pension with free cancer treatment.
Effective this particular year,
when you retire and unfortunately something like this thing happens to you, the center will take care of it.
And on top, the Ghana National Association of Teachers also seeks better conditions of service for members in hard-to-reach communities, as well as aiding better access to the professional development of members.
Apart from the professional courses, we are going to have programs for our members, that members will be moving to Abankro to have a field and also get continual professional development from the institute.
Learn more on TV3. Make a date with Nat R every Wednesday at 5:45 p.m. and Sundays at 1:30 p.m. Nat R, hope for the Ghanaian teacher.
Nat Hour shows Wednesdays at 5:45 p.m. and on Sundays at 1:30 p.m. on TV3.
Just when many thought debt concerns on Ghana's energy front were behind us, after the tango between ECG and Senenasogli, a new challenge is on the horizon. This afternoon, staff of the Ghana Gas Company Limited and the Ghana Grid Company are raising red flags over ECG's failure to pay them. They are warning of a possible return to the dark ages of Dumso. Now, both companies are demanding the Electricity Company of Ghana honors its debt obligations to them to safeguard Ghana's energy sector. Let's talk a bit more about this and the state of both companies in relation to the debt ECG has. And ECG's debt ranges in hundreds of millions in cedis. ECG pays about 18 to 25% erratically, with debt sitting on their books. Now, challenges in paying suppliers, procurement of tools, materials and spare parts, the want of cash waterfall mechanism restored, or other financial support provided to avert Dumso during Christmas. For the Ghana Gas Company, their concerns include ECG departing from IMF conditionality of paying players in the energy sector, which jeopardizes Ghana's economic credibility and stability. Now, the ECG has flouted president and vice president to pay Ghana Gas debt. Financial strain on Ghana Gas not only affects its day-to-day operations, but also jeopardizes its ability to meet critical financial commitments. Now, government and relevant authorities must address this issue promptly to mitigate the potential economic fallout. That's the call from these companies. Now,
and there's some news coming through right now in relation to the investigative work done by the Fourth Estate over Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and contract signed between it and the Ghana Revenue Authority and the Finance Ministry. Yesterday, we brought you news of a response by Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. The Ghana Revenue Authority as well has had reason to respond to the publications, and we're going to walk you through details of a statement that's been coming through right now, which amongst many things, first off, they are questioning content of the publication by the Fourth Estate, which points to the expansion of the contract as awarded to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited. And the GRA says that a contract has been awarded indeed to Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited, one in 2019 for monitoring the downstream petroleum sector, two in 2023. The first being upstream petroleum production in 2023, and then minerals and metal resources value chain. They are seeking to challenge what they believe are discrepancies or inaccuracies associated with the report by the Fourth Estate, and they say that the consolidated contract, which is a risk-reward contract, seeks to bring efficiency in revenue assurance or services provided to the Ghana Revenue Authority by SML. The contract is for 5 years and not 10 years, as the report suggested, and it has received board approval. And they go on to say that SML solely financed the capital expenditures and cutting-edge technology that is employed in the monitoring and auditing services. On conversations as to whether or not indeed work is being done, to which reason SML is receiving all the sums of money as was alleged in that documentary piece, they make the case that Indeed, the Ghana Revenue Authority, used to use archaic methods in measuring the petroleum content which was moved from the country's depots and the likes. But thanks to the use of cutting-edge technology like we've been telling you about, they've been able to increase revenue amongst many other things. And so that's the latest from the Ghana Revenue Authority in relation to what has been a brewing conversation over contracts awarded. And we'll perhaps stay on this or stay on matters relating to the economy. And the economy has expanded by 2% in the third quarter of 2023 compared to 2.7% same period last year. The growth was driven by agriculture, growing by 5.9%, and services by 5.5%. Industry, however, contracted by 4.3%. Professor Samuel Kobneni is government statistician.
2023, the final value of goods and services for the economy was 212.4 billion Ghana cedis, increasing by 60 billion Ghana cedis compared to the same time period in 2022, that is the third quarter of 2022. From a constant GDP perspective, a real GDP perspective, the final value of goods and services for the third quarter of 2023 was 44.7 billion Ghana cedis, increasing from 43.9 billion Ghana cedis in the same time period, third quarter 2022. With these two different values between the third quarter 2022 and the third quarter 2023, the economy grew by 2.0% year-on-year quarterly GDP, third quarter 2022 compared to third quarter 2023. This growth rate of 2.0% signifies a 0.7 percentage point drop as the economy grew by 2.7% between the third quarter 2021 and the third quarter 2022.
Let's bring in some sports news now. CAF has released the provisional squads ahead of the 2023 AFCON. Ghana submitted a 55-man squad, and, well, Oreku Ampofo is here with me again to talk about this. Oreku, let's talk about Chris Hughton's squad. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, I do get the reasoning behind such a bloated provisional squad. It came in from a couple of years ago where there was COVID, where technically your first 20 could be wiped out by the virus by the time of the tournament. And so you still need to present a 23. But with COVID no longer around, I don't see the wisdom in naming 55 players, especially when you look at countries like Ghana. And the requirement is maximum 55. You don't need to name 55 because you're looking at the list, and I think 30, 35, 40 look like players who can genuinely fight for a place in the squad. But after that, you're seeing players who have not been in the national team for 3, 4, 5 years. It's almost as if they were filling the gap. But I think overall, we are seeing the key players, the spine of the national team, the ones who've held the team in the past few months in the team. And there is that hope that players who are injured, like Thomas Partey, will be fit before the tournament.
You know, how filled up is the squad with local players?
Well, so there are 11 from the likes of Kotoko. There is Mediama, who dominates with 4 players. And then there's Nations FC as well. Surprisingly, there's none from Heart of Oak. But I do think that Mediama probably have the biggest shout because their players have been involved with Chris Hughton in the past 2-3 games, and they've actually had game time. So you're looking at Jonathan Soa, you're looking at Hamid, and then Nuruddin, who also recently got a call. Felix Che, who's the goalkeeper who has impressed at the CAF Champions League so far, he's also now had a look into the team. And if there is any local club to get some representation in Ivory Coast next year, I think it would be Mediama, although Richmond Lamte of Asante Kotoko has also had some really good form this season and could also be a late inclusion as well.
What are their chances of being fielded? I mean, there's a big squad.
Yeah, it's a big squad. It's a big squad. Typically, historically, we take about roughly 2-3 local players to a major tournament. And as I stated, I think Mediama do have the biggest chance. I think the likes of Jonathan Soa and Hamid already have the experience and know Chris well. Chris also knows them well. And so maybe those two plus one that could be either Nuruddin of Mediama or maybe Richmond Lamte of Asante.
So I want to talk about these new inclusions, like Brandon Thomas, Asante, who plays for West Bromwich.
Yeah.
What do you think about him?
Well, he was born in Milton Keynes in England. Hasn't been linked to Ghana in any way or form, but he's eligible because he has Ghanaian-born parents. You can hear from his name, Asante. He started out as a winger, has been through the ranks, played in League 2, League 1, and is currently in the Championship with West Brom, where he scored 7 goals in all competitions and provided 2 assists. He is developed from a winger to a striker now. Last season, he scored West Brom's goal of the season, and he has basically been impressive. He's been making waves in England in one way or the other. And I spoke to a member of the technical team who confirmed that they have been in contact with him for the past year in order to convince him to naturalize for the Black Stars. And now we can assume that he's done so, given that he's in the provisional squad. Let's see whether he makes the actual team now.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Thank you, Reku, for bringing us all the sports.
Thank you, too.
Now, away from that, there are concerns regarding the ability of security agencies to effectively prevent possible terror attacks should government fail to properly implement the Security and Intelligence Act. The law passed in 2020 requires the appointment of ordinary community members to serve on regional and district security councils to improve community knowledge and information gathering. My colleague, Christopher Mwako, in the following report, looks at the concerns from the community members and a security analyst on why these appointments must be made immediately.
The Act relating to the National Security Council is to provide for the establishment of regional and district security councils. It also enjoins the chairpersons of both the regional and district security councils to appoint 3 other members of the society onto the council who would be approved by the National Security Ministry. Their function is to provide early warning signals to the government of the existence or likelihood of a security threat to the district, the country, or the government to ensure peace in conflict areas in the district.
In selecting not only the women, but also the other 2, means that you have to select people who have security background. For instance, we took the 2 others who have served in military and the Ghana Police Service, and they are on retirement.
However, checks by TV3 revealed that most assemblies are yet to make these appointments.
This particular act at this moment, I can express with confidence that most of the assemblies have not acted on it in terms of getting these 3 other members to be part of this committee. And I can also state factually that a lot of the assemblies do not even know that they're supposed to get these 3 other members to add to the committee.
With a few who have made the appointments still waiting for approval by the National Security Ministry.
These appointments have been made, but we have done that recently. And since then, we haven't been able to even meet as MUSEC.
Security expert and team leader of Kojinta, Ghana, Reverend Father Clement Apengnil, believes the delay in implementing the act will undermine security in the assemblies.
New national security strategy is a very well done document. The burden lies on the DCE and the District Assembly to select people from the community who can make a good contribution to the security situation. Because at the end of the day, if there is insecurity, it affects all of us. And I think slowly we have to begin to move away from politicizing some of these key institutions to a point where we look for who is the best to be able to do this for the good of all. So for me, it's a brilliant idea that we are bringing in civil society. But again, the choice of who they put there is key.
Well, now it's time for us to go. My name is Keminni Amanor.
And I am Mawuena Egbeta. We're back again tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Is that the briefest, walkout that we've had? Because, there was no discussion. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.